we just get stuck on a singular point, that my way or the highway, whether it's government or the protesters. So if we get stuck at the singular point that either this or nothing, that's not the future. It can't be either this or nothing. It can be either this or something else. How do we solve the problem? Who wants to be, do you think students want to be out there on the streets? Do you think the cops want to be deployed from all over the country, standing there? And some of those cops are also reasonable people, okay? They're doing a job. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants this. Government doesn't want it. Parents don't want it. Professors don't want it. We don't want it. Nobody wants it. Been there, done all of these things. What we want is action. What we don't want is pride and one-upmanship and grandstanding. And that applies to government, and that applies to the student leaders who have now created this. What began with an Instagram page has ended here. All we want is action that gives us concrete measurable things. I think Deep K and the others, remember that boy Siddharth Arzu, the one who did the investigation on that company that got the contract to do the electronic parts of the NEET examination, and CBSE and others, and he blew the whistle that they have been blacklisted in other states, and he was invited by government to give his opinion. What we want is these people to be part of task forces to help solve the problem. We want a cogent action. We will want the follow-up on what action took place. I think the cops who haven't covered themselves, I don't know what the plan was, what the strategy was, what the intelligence was. That the solution was remove their nameplates, have plainclothes policemen pick up lathis. That's not how it's done. There's no reason. I can't understand a reason why a rapid action force team would be ordered to remove the nameplates and then tell us that the velcros were soggy. It's not making logical sense. Beyond that, the cops also get pilloried. What are they doing there? You think they want to go and beat up kids? So it's just an unhappy situation. Okay. So Arju, let's come back to this, because we know the protest is not over, but this meeting now that takes place, do we know that who all will be going for the meeting from CJP to meet with Mr. Nadda?
Well, it is expected that Abhijit Deepke, who is the founder of Cockroach Janata Party, Saurabh Das, who was earlier also was in the meeting, are expected to be there in the meeting to put forward the demands that the Cockroach Janata Party is raising. And from the government part, what we are getting to know is that the Union Minister JP Nadda, who was constantly in touch with the Cockroach Janata Party, and he was there in the first round of meeting itself, and Dr. Jitendra Singh, who in fact went to opposition protest to talk to Rahul Gandhi regarding what can be done to settle this matter. So definitely these two leaders from the government side will be present to talk regarding to get the middle ground so that this protest can be ended. But yes, what the DPK has said, in fact, today, even after the Prime Minister appeal, even after the meeting that is going to happen, Abhijit DPK has in fact tweeted that this protest will continue today, even after Sonam Wangchuk has decided to end his hunger strike after 26 days after the assurance from the government. But yes, the protest will continue, and not only in national capital, but also it was announced yesterday that nationwide protest will take place today. So definitely we'll
so they made that appeal yesterday, and by nationwide we already know, we've already heard of Patna, of Bombay, Chandigarh. We already know in several places protests are taking place of various lengths and strengths, but that appeal has not been rescinded. Now, what's the ideal thing? The ideal thing is, and I'm talking personally here, a little bit of experience being on the other side of getting beaten up. The ideal thing is the biggest frustration. Remember, Deepke himself is not necessarily the NEET aspirant here. Okay. he is not the affected party, that I gave the NEET exam and my result was affected, therefore my life was affected. He was in the US. But the people who have gathered there, some of them indeed have gone through some issue that they've actually gathered there. Otherwise, he has no mass appeal. He's not some activist of multi-generation, multi-years. The people who have gathered there around a cause, and Deep K has become a face of that cause. The unhappy circumstances that resulted in all of this. So that's the meeting that took place. Now, it's very good that meeting took place, but that meeting unfortunately led to more mutual suspicion than less. That was on Monday. Okay, what we want is this meeting, and actually Dr. Jitendra Singh, JP Nadda, good people to speak to the students. Dr. Jitendra Singh, very genial, well-meaning, earnest person. Okay, at least we can expect them to have a very earnest conversation. So the right people having the conversation from the government side. What we just want is an earnest conversation that is trying to solve the problem. What we don't want is, I have taken a position, I am not budging. Okay, to hell with it. And the government takes a position, well, we have also now taken a position in principle. We are willing to do this, but not this. And we are not budging. Then we are back to square one. That's what we don't want to happen. In the end, just think about it. Where does this go? Where do we want this to go? We want young people to go back to studying, go back to working, go back to all the other things, all the, let's face it, insanity that is taking place in the past 48 hours, in such unhappy scenes, to wind down, de-escalation takes place, and then a constructive mechanism is set in which these people should be stakeholders. The biggest frustration I had when I was a student was nobody takes you seriously, nobody listens. So what options have you got? Okay. Then go on the streets, and when you go on the streets, all sorts of lumpen elements come in, motivated forces come in. I remember we were called by somebody who's an activist and said, you know, I have an office in SouthX. Why don't you come, you know, you guys, because I mean, we were young people, we didn't think, you know, that you'll have to have a microphone and how do you, do a march on the streets, police permission, etc., etc. So somebody comes in who's offering to help you organize all of these things. Turned out he was a political party person. Found out a few weeks later. We didn't know. Now you can still Google stuff. Okay. Now, an important statement has come. Before we listen to that, Delhi University has also been putting out some information. Lots of, remember, the colleges, schools have gone into online